Hello, Wayne. This is Grace, a 71-year-old woman that's feeling empowered by the light. And I want to have a interview with you like you wanted to after you saw the Dove story. But there's so much more I want to tell you about, more even than the Dove story. And I want to show you some pictures right now in this little video I'm making just to you, Wayne. I film light. I've discovered a way to film light and see in it what I believe is in empty space and what I believe is the invisible etheric world that our physical world comes from. Now that's just my interpretation. Some people think I'm looking at caustics, and here's an example of that, because they make caustics shining a light through something glass onto a white piece of paper. Makes the most beautiful things and designs, but this is not caustics. Here's another show of what caustics looks like. But I'm getting the light as it comes out of the light source, and it comes out as a little orb-looking thing. And let me get these up real big. Let's sit back either. This little orb thing is such a contortionist, and see how it folds and everything. I always put words from Walter Russell like, parts of the one whole ideal are only seeming. There are no two separate or separable things in the universe. There is but one whole simulation of the one whole ideal. And it's simulated by light. And see this light, how I kept filming the light that came out like that. When it first comes out of the light source, it just is a contortionist. And it starts getting all this color in it. And I'm going to go through these rather fast because I can't make too long a video. And the light starts throwing a little part of itself through to two different ends of itself. I got lots of pictures showing how the light first comes out. And see, there's the top one and the bottom one. That little part in the middle that's bigger than either of them is like its baby that it tosses back and forth between the top one and the bottom one. Only because I moved my camera in such a way that I make it do that. But I play with light, and I've learned that play is a wonderful way that our Creator uses to help us learn things. It's really even better than hard study and research. But not that those don't have their place. Yeah, they do. They brought us a lot of technology that we enjoy today, but I learned through playing. And this is how the light looks sometimes, and like that. I'm going to go through these rather fast. Because this little orb, it is going to stretch itself. It's going to make a big long tube, and part of itself will enter into another part of itself. It's like that Ouroboros, the snake that bites his own tail. The light ribbons out like this. And I've got thousands of pictures of light doing these sort of things. I don't find anywhere that I look others taking films of light like this. I think I'm onto something. I really would like to share it with the world because light is a very important subject. You see how it comes forth from the light source. And then as it gets further out, it makes a big round orb. And the colors that the light picks up that will be in it as it moves around, I believe might be what's in empty space, which is a very colorful place. I'm going to go through these rather fast because I got a lot to tell you and a little time. See how the light, it just moves, and sometimes it looks like an accordion. And I must have thousands of pictures of the light. See, here it's taken on different colors. And I can see some of this with the naked eye, would you believe? But I never could share it with others. They just think you're crazy. You talk about something like that. And now that I can show them with pictures, they still don't really show much interest. Except a few people who look at my channel, they are interested in some of what I'm showing. But I'd like it to be more widespread, this looking at light the way I'm doing. And see, it's so flexible. It's like it's a liquid, and it flows. Look at it there. And I'll read this about that I put in there. The God quality of the one light is seemingly transformed into quantities by being divided into pairs of oppositely conditioned light pressures of this electric universe. These divided pairs are then multiplied into countless octave wave units of light pressures and set in opposite direction motion to create the illusion of sequence, change, dimension, condition, and time in a universe where none of these effects of motion exist. And that's some of the wise words of Walter Russell. And see how it multiplies? And all the changes it undergoes in its motion. I have maybe thousands of pictures of light doing this. And I'm just going to go through a lot of them really quick because I want to get to the exciting part of what I have to tell you. But all of this is exciting, actually, though. And see all the fluorescent colors. And let me read this part. It talks about God, and I love having found this out from reading the books called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East by Baird Spalding. In it, it says, God is not a great being outside of you that you are going to bring within and then present to the world. God is that power which is generated and accelerated by your own thought action. It is true that this power is within and all about you, but it is inactive until you think of it and know that it does exist. Then you see it flowing forth from you in limitless measure. You present it to the world, and the world is benefited by your presentation. You yourself must present the accomplishment by putting forth the driving force of all good, God your Father, the power to accomplish behind every thought and act. Now you are God fulfilling or filling full the accomplishment. This is God, the true and only God, standing forth from you. And I put in there, legions fly to do your bidding. Because this is a powerful thing I know that I'm working with. And look at the light here. And look how it fans out sometimes. And look, there's a little X thing in here, see right there? That is something very important. It's the beginning of something I'm going to talk about that I call curved line balls. I'll get to that in a little while. And light can look real erratic. It's like it's beautiful, chaotic disorder, but there's order in it. Order comes from it. See how it can look like this? Like out of chaos comes order. I got so many pictures of light doing the strangest things. I haven't gotten the attention of any of the scientific community yet, but I think I will. See how fluorescent it can pick up the most fluorescent colors? And see how it moves like a little, almost like a little snake or something. It just, that orb, or I call it a photon sometimes, it is so flexible. It's a contortionist. And then in some of the orbs that show after it gets away from the ones that it forms when it first comes out, they turn into the most intricate and beautiful orbs like I've never seen. See how it travels there? And see some of the more interesting ones, which I've got thousands of pictures of orbs looking like this, and each one is so beautiful. I just get lost in the beauty of them. And I think, well, this could prove string theory because it looks like strings are in this. And the string theorists believe that we're all connected through little invisible, tiny, etheric strings. And a lot of my pictures of orbs show this. And it's much better than looking at a chart, looking at the actual picture of light doing these things. I've gotten pictures of orbs. I call them orbs. But they could be photons of light. And this colors seem to just drip off of these orbs. And I think the orb structure is a seeing device for looking at what's going on in this realm of light. because when I move my camera around, I see an extenuation of the scene. I see, like if it's a little worm-looking thing, I can see how it goes further out. And sometimes the orb just shows me its guts. And I use a glass object. This is showing one of them. And I zoom in with my digital camera on one of the little spots of light. And then that's what's making these orb pictures. I don't know that everybody can do this. I think you have to believe in oneness for this to work. But I use glass because it's the easiest thing to use. But you can also use anything that light concentrates and makes a shiny spot on, be it metal or porcelain or even a piece of plastic. If the sun is shining on it like that, well, I've discovered you can look at the shiny spot with your digital camera, zoomed in, but no flash. You don't want too much light. And you'll get some of the most interesting orbs. Now this, I looked online to see about atoms and things and what an atom looks like according to them. And this is showing the hydrogen atom and its orbitals. And you see, I get things in my orb that looks like the hydrogen atom's orbital. Just one of the many ways it looks when it's orbiting. And now I got this off of a website. This shows how subatomic particles self-propel themselves. Well, look at this. This is one of my orb pictures. The very, very same kind of look as their artist drew here, depicting that kind of movement of subatomic particles. I think I'm looking into the subatomic microscopic zone of life. And this is my most interesting thing because I got a communication about this one. I started seeing these little curved line balls. And the curved line balls are a process that light uses. I've been told through a communication I received. It's turning energy into matter. And look, the light here looks like a piece of lace. But these curved line balls are so interesting. And I want to read to you something that I found in my Google Drive under a file that I never had put content in, but I had entitled it The Power of Love. Now I want to show you. While I didn't get a scientist's attention to what I'm working with, I did get the attention of a being that wrote this into my Google Drive. And I'm going to read it to you now. It says, I want to say right away that I'm willing to get into this only because you have expressed an interest in doing it. I have no agenda but love for you and for all of that which is created. I am not a being who has time for taking little trips of fantasy into other realms for the fun of it. I am serious, and I wish that to be known. I have little concern for those who believe not, nor for those who wish to start a new religion of me. I will shut down quickly if I see that occurring. So they had my interest there. Then it says, Grace, you are a very good person, and you do not even know it yet. I see you judge yourself as though you were not any good, only maybe just a little bit good. I'm telling you that we need more like you, and if we can accomplish this, all will be healed that is going wrong. I'm going to give you a letter of sorts in which you can address those scientists who would say that the orbs you take pictures of are nothing more than some kind of easily explained phenomena. I'm going to ask them to consider how that you are able to see light in the process of bonding itself into the curved line balls. What the curved line balls are is a process in which matter is being put together. It will manifest for you in due time. It will be all that you want it to be. And if you are not sure what you want, it knows for you that you want something you have asked for many times. Now, Wayne, I'd never spoken about this little thought I had about manifesting something. But here, this being is talking to me about something that was only in my mind, so I know this message came from some source of being that can read our minds. It says, "It is that which you ask for, that is both silver and gold and fruit. It will be accomplished in time, and you will have it for evidence to use it for an example. It will be good to see, for you doubt a lot, and we want you to cease from doubting. I know that is hard to do, but with the help we will provide, you will be able to do it. To erase all doubt is always the hardest kind of thing for people to do. It requires one to deny what is and to relax and know and appreciate. It's just that for us to begin to give you the words that you seem to want, it is not easy for us because we don't know what you want to understand. Okay, about time, it is a construct as you know it to be, and is used by God, or all that is, as a way of playing out for those parts of himself all the dramas in which you are presented with themes to test and serve to grow you into a better person. It's going to be constructed a little differently from a point in time which is fast approaching. It will be no longer a long wait until what you believe to be true comes into existence. It is already working that way for many to a certain degree. It will increase, and you will walk in such a state of grace that you will find life to be so pleasant that you are not ever dissatisfied." And this is all that I received, and I haven't gotten that longer report, and I haven't manifested that gold and silver and fruit thing, but I'll tell you what it was. I used to think, if I could manifest something out of the thin air, I would want a silver platter full of gold apples made of pure gold. And I'm going to think this manifestation thought, the same thing. Each time I think about manifesting, it's going to be that ideal of the silver platter with gold apples. And there, that communication talked to me about that thing. It was so thrilling. But when I tell people around me that about it, it's like I'm met with, "Oh, you poor thing. You think you're going to bring something out of the thin air." Well, I actually believe that maybe this will happen. Not maybe, but it will. And I'm learning so much about the light. I would love to share it through you and through others because you're so good at getting people to look at things they wouldn't look at before. You've done that for me. I really enjoy your show. And I only just discovered you not too long ago. But you're on to something. I'm on to something. I know I am. And it's so beautiful. This light shows itself to me in these beautiful orbs. And that's the curved line balls there. They multiply. I'm seeing them in the orbs now in a more prevalent way. But I've discovered in looking at some of the thousands of pictures of orbs I've taken, even a few years ago, they were there already. I just never noticed them. I want to show you now a little bit of a video I made. Let me get it going. When the light was just letting me see its fractal way of being. I'm filming a shiny spot on a piece of glass. And it's like it's taken me through a lot of the ways the fractal looks, how it, well, I can't really put it into words, but it's amazing. And all this surrounds us at all times. I'm filming this right in my own room, but I could be filming it if I were anywhere with a kind of light that I set up, which is, I use a LED light because to me there's something special about the LED light. I don't know what it is, but I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. I'm trying to get a lot of things in really fast. But this video, you can find it on my channel. It's called Trip into Light to Follow a Fractal. And I show it in video form. But most of my pictures, I just take a still snapshot of the light. But in this, I'm showing it in video form, which I used to could do with my cameras, but because I take so many pictures of light, I've kind of messed up the little sensitivities inside the camera that make videos. And now it's all whacked up, and I can't take this kind of video unless I get a new camera and I'm willing to, take pictures of light and ruin it too. But I would do that because this is such an interesting thing. And there's so much potential in what the light is showing us. And I even have this little character. I call him Harry. I only see him with one of my cameras. I have 2 cameras. And he's a little light creature. I get a lot of views of him when I use that camera. I guess that was the last one. That was the last picture I had in there. But let me take you to my library. I have taken literally thousands of pictures of light. And I use my zoom to go real, real close into the orb so you don't even see the outside edges of it anymore. And a lot of people that see my YouTube channel are getting to explore this part of the light realm with me. And we have various opinions, but nobody makes anyone have to agree that this is what it is or that's what it is. We're all learning. And I want to share more with more people than just the few subscribers I have and the ones that follow me. I've made so many videos trying to show this to people. And this light, I discovered it when I was, I always wanted to talk to spirit, and I did automatic writing years ago and got myself into a whole lot of trouble because I contacted the kind of spirits that were ignorant, and they weren't demons. People think that, send them to the pits of hell. That's not what you do when you encounter a spirit that is ignorant. You think of them as naughty children that you don't want to let them talk to you, but you want them to learn. So that's what, after 2 years of being driven almost insane by these beings and being in lockup facilities, and I've been through some times, I read a book about how everything is God, visible and invisible, all is God. And I thought, I should love all of God. So those little voices were talking to me of those spirits I had encountered. And I said, I know you know my thoughts, and I want you to know I don't fear you anymore, and I don't hate you. And I'm not going to try to send you to some pit in hell. I'm going to say, listen to me, read the books I intend to read, because I'm going to find out who I am and who you are, and I'm going to find out the truth about things. And you're welcome to look over my shoulders and read along with me and learn who you are. But you cannot speak to me anymore. And they quit bothering me after that. They went away and I started getting my sanity back. And then I always thought, that's what I'm filming off of. I'm filming the light with that little piece of glass candlestick there. And I always thought when they were talking to me that if they can talk to me, so can God. And I said that to myself over and over. If they can talk to me, then God surely can talk to me. And then one day I was inspired to do automatic writing again. And it was after I was fully recovered and I had met, I had discovered the Peace Pilgrim, and I discovered the story about Sadako and the 1,000 Cranes. And so that dove story came through automatic writing. I won't go into details because you've already seen that, and others can see it too if you wanted to put it in your little description bar. See what that light is showing? It's light is all that there is. And out of light comes sound, and sound and light are everything. We really live in a simulation. I'm really believing that our world is a simulation. It's not really real. But since we live here, we have to understand this simulation and how we can affect it and how we can make a better world. Because I think that spirit is going to enter into matter fully. at a point in time that's fast approaching, and we're going to have God's definition of who we are. And every little bug and every little microbe will have God's definition of what it is. And it's going to be a fantastic, incomprehensible to us right now kind of world. And I'm just really excited, Wayne. And I'm excited that you want to talk to me. And I've got to learn how to use Skype and all that so that I can talk to you. And I want people to see these orb pictures that I've taken so many of. I hope someday to have a gallery where I have these in real big, blown-up ways of showing them, because I think color is a healing thing, and that it's important for us to see color and to learn of things that are transcendent, that are beyond just what our physical limitations show us. We think everything has to follow the law of physics, but this Mandela effect has proven to us that no, that's not true. The past can change, and the future can be altered. We're kind of living, I think, in a state of flux where things become possible, and then the plan has to change. So everybody has to have their flux capacitors on them, because be ready for a wild ride and a wonderful way of dealing with all the things in our world that seem to be going wrong. It's all going to be righted. And we're the ones that are going to do it. We're not going to have some space beings come and do it for us. They may help us mightily, but we're going to have to do this ourselves with their help and their recognition of who they are and what they can help us understand. I think our world's going to become paradise, like it was meant to be. And I'm just hoping that you will interview me and help me get this out there to the world and wake some people up. I'm so tired of seeing all the confusion that the religious people who cling to their stupid ideas that only believing in a certain way will save you from hell. So tired of that message. It needs to go away. It really does, because it's gotten people into fear and disempowerment. And when they're into that, they can't do all these wonderful things because they're too caught up in fearful thinking. And we've got to get away from the fearful thinking. Well, I'm at 27 minutes. This is going to cut off almost any time now. So I'm going to say goodbye and put this out as a video and send it to you and hope to be on your show someday. And I call myself the Dove Lady. And so this is the Dove Lady signing off. Over and out for now. Talk at you later.